Hey there folks, welcome to this video, and today I was listening to, as I was doing some driving, the most recent Dirtfish podcast where they talked about their dream WRC calendar. I think they talked about 14 rounds. So, there were some really interesting suggestions, and this is where I kind of went to with it. So this would be my kind of 14 round calendar, and I've thought about logistics for this thing as well, which is why some of them are in very odd places. Now the first three are pretty succinct for me, and it would be Monte Carlo for the fourth weekend in January, which is traditionally around my dad's birthday. Then second round would be Sweden. Ideally it'd be Karlstad, but if it can't have the kind of guaranteed snow, then Umeå may be in rotation with Rovaniemi and the Lapland Rally. Put that around mid-February, so typically around, well, my birthday. Then the third round would be Mexico. It's kind of early March slot, which, funnily enough, is around where my mum's birthday is. Then after that, what would I do? Well, I'd go Latin America. Argentina maybe in rotation with Chile. I'd have to hold out reservations for that one though, because well, we need to see what Chile's like for the hybrid cars first. But Argentina's a classic. After that, it would be to Oceania. I'd have New Zealand. I mean, one of the things for me when I was younger, I loved the 2003 season WRC, and New Zealand was quite an early one for that season. They went back to Australia later. Now, I would say have it alternate with Australia. I think if you do it this way, that gets us to round 5. Then round 6 go to Asia. And I would say Japan and Hokkaido. It's another gravel event I know I talk about wanting to have like kind of spread out of tarmac and gravel and having more tarmac events, but Rally Hokkaido is fantastic for WRC, and of course growing up being an RBR fan, it's one of the things that Luke Barry talked about in the podcast. The Hokkaido Rally stages like Noika and Sivakaken were quite famous in WRC, when WRC was at Hokkaido. Then after that, I would do the Safari. Could always have that rotating with like Jordan or potentially the future, what is it, Saudi round they're talking about. And then we get into the proper European season. So I would have... what do I have next? So to be round 8, I would have Finland. No, I'd be able to have Estonia. And then Finland for round 9. Now this is where it gets interesting. Round 10, I'd have an alternation between Germany and Ypres. Now this is pending what the Central European Rally looks like. That could easily take over from that. That'll be my round 10. Then round 11. Naturally, we'll go back and Estonia will put on the back burner for this one. Potential rotation with Poland in the future, but I've enjoyed Estonia, but we could have Finland as like the flat-out, high-speed, jumpy one. Because then it frees up for what I wanted to do, which was have San Remo and Sardinia alternate to the Italian round. Then we'd have Corsica. Then we'd have Spain. And for San Remo, I would be tempted to have that as a classic mixed surface one, because then we don't have all these tarmac ones in this big block. I think mainland Italy would be brilliant to see more rallying on again. San Remo is iconic for that. Corsica rally of 10,000 corners. I mean, we could always have that alternate with like a Croatia or something like that. And Croatia's been a fun event to watch. But if we were able to have, say, a Corsica on the calendar, that would be brilliant. Spain, I think, deserves to be on the calendar. In the final round, well, no surprises here. Rally GB. I think I've got 14 there. If I don't, then we could have Ireland before that. Well, you've got a world championship, visits every continent. And some of the best rallies we got there. And Rally GB would be... Well, I'd look at something like the 80s and 90s version, where you've got the first day being, like, it could be a 4 or 5 day event. The first day being the kind of country house stages, so your Blenheims, your Doningtons and Silverstones all put in there as well for your converted racetracks. Then you go up north, got Twigley's, got some of the stages in Scotland, maybe the Kielder Forest as well at the same time. And then round off in the Welsh Forests. So you could have your Sweet Lamb and Haffron and My Heron and Duffy and Cloggenog, Penmacno, all of them. And it would be lovely to see, like, that classic Bargain Park Arena round off the season. I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. There's some which I feel like I'm gutted I've missed out on. Straight away I could think Portugal. Why have I forgotten Portugal from the calendar? The problem is, with this plan that I was thinking of, where we do what's sensible in terms of logistics of all of the flyaways happen, this like snaking around back to Europe. You don't do a mid or late season Portugal because you could have bushfires, and especially when you get to like autumn and winter, you have lots of heavy rain and flooding. But I think it's important to have some of these rotations, so that's why I said what I did for those ones. And actually, thinking about it with Estonia, I would potentially look at that with an alternation with Greece. See, Acropolis has been, Carbreaker's been good to have back, but it needs, I feel like it should have a more spread out format. But you could always have that rotate with a Turkey or even a Cyprus coming back. I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. The problem is, this is a problem that rallying will always have to a degree, is it needs to be a smaller calendar than F1. But I would argue it has more great events that aren't on the calendar than F1 does. Whereas with F1 you can go, oh yeah, I could do without this race and that race and this race and that race. With the WRC, there's not really a rally where you can go, oh yeah, that one could easily go. Like, you're having to get rid of already good rallies to put in ones which are legendary and famous. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.